radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
All right, good evening. Fade to Black. Bespoke radio for the masses. Today's Thursday, November 15th, 2018. 322 days into the new year, just 43 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in the middle of beautiful downtown Burbank, California. And I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the Planet. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight is another Fader night. I tried open lines all night long. We have Theresa here and Divine Frequency on the airwaves. We're going to go straight to her now. Here we go. Let's do this. Theresa, are you there?
Hi. How's it going, Jimmy?
Just take it away. We had some technical issues, power outages, and power supplies. We got everything up and running. It was a panic, but we're here, and you are here. So let's do this, Theresa. What have you got for us tonight?
All righty. What's up, Jimmy? How you doing? This is Theresa at Divine Frequency, and you guys are tuning into On the Airwaves Radio tonight. Welcome, welcome. The times have changed and the tides have shifted. Let's ride the airwaves. This show is packed with high-energy mediatainment live. For those of you who know me, I've got a lot of energy, and no, that's not the coffee, my friends. That is just me all the time. So sorry to burst your bubbles, but we're diving deep into the realms of the world. We are exploring the farthest reaches of the unknown. We are leaving no ocean unexplored. You guys can tune in on Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time for deeper perspectives on a vast array of media topics. If you want to join the conversation as we are flowing in the ether, go to Twitter and live tweet with Divine Frequency using the hashtag DFAirwaves. My superstar associate, Sterling Nicole Bennett, shout out to you. She'll be the ringleader tonight of our live tweeting experience this evening. You can follow her at Stario Crossing and me at Divine Frequency on Twitter. Go on over, go hang out. Feel free to tweet the hashtag DF Airwaves as we go. Today is Thursday, November 15th, 2018. All right, let's dive right in. Hashtag Mermaid Life. Today, we are bringing you a special edition Divine Frequency series called Your Inner Magician. When you realize the potential of your own free will and apply that understanding to the analysis of your decisions and information processing, you tap into your magician inside of you and unlock the motivation to learn how to play a powerfully active role in the life that you're living. So in this series, you will learn a unique method that will help you tap into the magic of conscious awareness so that you can process information effectively and harness this experience to live the life that you truly desire. It's not about reaching without, it's about reaching within. Have you ever thought about how effectively you process your thoughts, ideas, insights, and even external information? How do you actually harness the tools of discernment, wisdom, and intuition in a way that is most effective as you travel along the journey of life. So this is a series, and this week we are introducing the macro and microcosm, the soul journey, the systems and cycles of life, and we'll do an introduction on intuition, discernment, wisdom, and the interplay between these three concepts. Disclaimer, folks, these are my thoughts, these are my perspectives. Your perspectives and thoughts are just as important. They're important. And I'm just one part of the puzzle here. And we're going to engage in philosophy. We're going to get closer to a consensus reality. Join me. So let's get started. The magician. This is an archetypal pattern. An archetype is an original pattern that other ideas are fashioned after. So the magician archetype, this is the bridge between the higher realms and the lower realms. The magician has all of the tools he needs at his disposal. So he represents experience and harnessing of knowledge to affect the world in hopefully a positive way, right? I like to think that we are all magicians of this life and masters of our experience. The problem is you can go through life unconsciously and miss opportunities for growth and change. If you bring your experiences into the realm of your conscious mind, it allows you the opportunity to enhance your day-to-day life. So what we're going to be discussing is the macrocosm meeting the microcosm. So the macro is the whole of a complex structure, the world, the universe. And then the microcosm, this is a community, a place or situation regarded as encapsulating in miniature the characteristic qualities or features of something much larger. So right now, I invite each of you to take a deep breath in. And we're leaving our cares and worries at the door. We're focusing inwards right now. We're going to philosophize. We're going to peer deep within ourselves. We're going to have a conversation. We're in this together. So open your minds and your hearts to new insights and realizations. So why are you here? You are here because you ask the big questions. Who am I? Why am I here? How am I supposed to accomplish what I want to accomplish? So you're a truth seeker, right? You engage in, hopefully, disclosure consciousness. This is the uncovering of what is hidden in every waking moment. When you choose to become the magician, you choose to become the master of your experience, you take responsibility for uncovering the truth inside of you that's constantly unfolding. You are a finite manifestation of the infinite. Therefore, there's always more to learn. Therefore, there's always another way to learn and grow forward. So what does this journey look like? Have you ever thought about the journey that your soul took to come here to this life that you're living in now? So I have a theory, but this is just my perspective. And I bring this up to encourage you to contemplate and consider the miraculous gift that you have in your possession now, your life. So what's your theory? Let us know at ontheairwavesradio@gmail.com. So I want to talk for a minute about the toroidal universe. It's everywhere, y'all. What is the shape of a toroid? It kind of looks like an apple, right? The human body is a toroidal energy field. The torus is the form of flowing energy dynamics at every scale of existence. It's the blueprint of nature. Think about the Earth's magnetic field. This is the macrocosm, right? The electromagnetic field of the heart is the microcosm. So you can observe atoms, cells, seeds, flowers, trees, animals, humans, planets, galaxies. You get the point, right? So when I think about the toroidal universe as a system, I think about the center being source. That is the greatest amount of energy held at the center of this toroidal shape. And I believe that our souls are ejected out of the center. And so we're, if you believe in reincarnation, that works. If not, it doesn't matter for this theory. But you can believe either one. But when you come out, your soul's ejected out, and let's just say that we'll go with the reincarnation flow. So you're living your lives and you're growing, you're expanding, your consciousness is building. At some point, you realize your oneness. You realize that you're connected to the other souls around you. that we're all from the same place. We're all heading to the same place. The same energy flows within us, and we're all connected. At that point, that level of consciousness, you start to come back together. So when you think about the shape of an apple or the toroidal flow, at that point, all of the souls start to come back together toward the source again. I think this is a really interesting theory. And then you can start thinking about your soul actually traveling to the planet. So you have the source being your true spiritual essence, and then you're slowing the vibrational intensity through stages, which become etheric or subtle bodies, which are bands of energy that mold around the physical body to assist with the integration. So then you have to think about the energy that flows inside of you. This is called many different names: prana, chi, ki, the great spirit, the Holy Spirit, the source, the force, right? Yoda uses the force, right? So you can practice Tai Chi while you're walking, standing, sitting, laying. The method is using your mind to circulate the chi and find the feeling. This is Tung Ying Che. He said that. And if you guys watch Fade to Black, as I know you guys do, what's up, Fader Nuts? Eric Rains comes on the show and talks about this kind of stuff all the time. So it's really interesting to consider this. So you are a soul. You are a finite manifestation of the infinite. You're a cosmic being of source energy, and source energy flows through you. So you're a soul, and your soul exists in what? The extra-physical realm, or the ether. Source energy is channeled through your body and housed within metaphysical centers, much like other human body systems. So how does the soul function and develop? And this is just a theory, right? This is the chakra system that many of you have heard about, but it's like any other human body system potentially, right? Let me give you an example. The cardiovascular system circulates oxygen, blood, nutrients through the body. The regulatory organs are the heart and the lungs. So let's think about this in conjunction with the chakra system. This would circulate source energy through the body, and the regulatory centers would be chakras or nodes, and they would carry this energy through meridians, just as the heart carries blood through blood vessels. So we're thinking about these systems that are inside of the body. So you're a soul, and you have a body. Okay, so in the body, you've got your nervous system, your immune system, digestive system, reproductive system, endocrine systems. It goes on and on, right? So you got your body. Now what? Well, you have a mind. You have a mind. How does it function and develop? So you have spheres of consciousness. You have the subconscious mind, which is your thoughts and feelings. You've got the conscious mind, which is awareness. And then your superconscious mind, which is the soul. You can also think about in developmental psychology, you have Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where you're learning from the base level about your physiological needs and how you get the things that you need to survive. And then up from there, you're interfacing with needing safety and security. From there, you move up into love and belongingness. And up from there, self-esteem. And then self-actualization. So these are processes, these are systems that ebb and flow in and out, around and around. Lots of systems. So we're looking at kind of a fractal layer here where it expands out, and you have a very large cosmological system that's broken down and down and down into smaller and smaller systems that all flow together. So what's the word that comes to mind here? Balance. So the balance of body, mind, and spirit is paramount in order to enhance the flow through your journey forward in this life. But there's more. So what do the physical and metaphysical human body systems do? Well, they make you functional within this three-dimensional plane. So what do you have to do in order for these systems to work? Nothing. They function unconsciously. But what's missing? And I've got a secret for you. Secret number one is that you can enhance your experience by shifting these unconscious functions into the realm of your conscious mind. This is when I talk about metacognition, which is thinking about thinking. How do all of these systems work, and how do they work together? Secret number 2, you can influence your body and mind by activating your soul. You have the power to consciously channel source energy through your body. So we need to shift now and talk about truth seeking. So we've just come all the way from the macrocosm into the microcosm, and here we are. And what is this journey? Truth seeking is a process. So truth is the quality or state of being true, something that's real. And then to seek is to attempt to find something. So you're looking for something. Truth seeking is to search for that which is true and real. And the thing about truth is that capital T truth will always be truth, regardless of lack of understanding, disbelief, or ignorance. The truth is relentless and objective. And what is objectivity? Okay, so of a person or their judgment, it's not influenced by personal feelings or opinions in considering and representing facts. So trying to be objective and impartial, unbiased, unprejudiced, neutral, detached, fair-minded, just, equitable. And then we have to think about experience. So as you interface with your environment, you discover more about yourself and the world around you. This is subjective, right? What is subjectivity? It's based on or influenced by personal feelings, tastes, or opinions. So this is emotional, instinctive, intuitive. And because the truth is always infinitely greater than our finite natures, there's always more to learn about. Our experience is subjective, therefore we're always climbing the never-ending mountain toward capital T truth. But we have tools at our disposal to get us as close to objective reality as humanly possible. So I'm going to ask you guys a question, and I'd love to hear your responses because we're going to start this conversation. The question is, what's the purpose of seeking truth? So send in your responses to ontheairwavesradio@gmail.com. We're going to start that conversation. So what's the point? In my opinion, you are a unique blueprint, and you have unique soul attributes and traits and gifts. You have a special purpose. These gifts that you have assist you in succeeding in whatever it is you are here to do. You have soul contracts. You have reasons for being in here in this experience. And more importantly, you can be the only one that can actually fulfill your destiny. You're the only you that exists. So when you think about it that way, and you think about us as a community, we are all here experiencing the divine in a unique way. It is so important that we respect each other's journeys. This is what I call staying in our lanes. It's so important for us to be able to recognize that as we are going through our experience of the divine and learning what our mission is and our purpose is, we also need to respect that everybody else has their own experience that they're going through as well. And it's all about the development cycles. We learn and we grow in cycles. And we're going to talk a lot more about cycles. How many of you have experienced cycles of growth and change that ultimately made you who you are today? All of us, right? So how does it start? So it starts with decision making and truth seeking. So you're born, right? You use your intuition or your emotions. You discern, which is making a judgment call. You get the result. You assess the situation. Was your intuition correct? And then this adds to your discernment capabilities. Wisdom is gained from the experience. This is the gauge of the intuition that could be potentially upgraded. Your discernment refined and the information received, and then you start the process over. And these are smaller cycles and then you have larger cycles, and this continues on and on. So let's talk a little bit about intuition. So this is the ability to understand something immediately without the need for conscious reasoning. Okay? So it's a thing that one knows or considers likely from instinctive feeling rather than conscious reasoning. So what's discernment? It's the ability to judge. What's wisdom? The quality of having experience, knowledge, and good judgment, the quality of being wise. So let's talk again about discernment. This is the ability to judge well. So I call this making judgment calls. If you need a go-to 3-word phrase for what discernment is, making judgment calls. It's that simple. So using intuition and information and previous experience, discernment is your ability to harness a conglomeration of factors and make decisions that will give you the desired result. So let's talk about intuition. We're going to break this one down. This is the ability, like we said before, to understand something immediately without the need for conscious reasoning. 3 words. Trusting your gut. So we have discernment is making judgment calls. Intuition is trusting your gut. Well, what's wisdom? Wisdom is the soul level understanding that you obtain through processing experiences in life. So 3 words, soul level understanding. Wisdom is the soundness of an action or decision with regard to the application of experience, knowledge, and good judgment. So this is the quality of having experience, knowledge, and good judgment, the quality of being wise. So this is the body of knowledge and principles that develop within a specified society or period. So what we're going to talk about now is what I've coined the truth seeker's sphere of wisdom. Here's the deal. Discernment is the interplay between wisdom and intuition. So as we know, intuition is gut level knowing without any conscious reasoning, and it's fine-tuned through using it and learning from the results. That's the key, learning from the results. So discernment harnesses the wisdom that you have and your intuition and is essentially your ability to make judgment calls. Wisdom is the soul level understanding you obtain through processing experiences in life. So it goes back and forth. So I'm going to give you an example. You're a kid. You're 4 years old and you see a candle and you think, wow, what a pretty candle. And you use your intuition. And that intuition tells you, I really feel in my gut like I should touch that candle fire, that flame. I want to touch that flame because I just really feel like I should. Because you have the lack of wisdom. You don't have the life experience, right? So you discern, which is what? Making a judgment call. You make a judgment call. And then you act. So you touch the fire. So in these truth seeker spheres of wisdom, in these cycles, you have the opportunity to gain a nugget of wisdom. What's the wisdom to be gained here? Well, the understanding that fire causes pain. It hurts you. That's the wisdom gain, right? So in this process is hopefully refined as you get older. So you refine the system. You have a chance to upgrade the intuition. When you're young like this, you might not understand, hey, my intuition was off. But as you get older and you go through these types of cycles, this is a simple example, but apply this into something that you've gone through recently, and you can look back and you can go, okay, what did I intuit? Was that right or wrong? Was my intuition off? Was it on? And if it was off, then you realize that feeling that you had, maybe you need to tweak that a little bit, because you can learn from mistakes, right? And then you can use that moving forward, where maybe you get that same feeling, you go, well, maybe that's not the strongest feeling. Okay. And as you get older and you grow and you learn about learning, you can figure out a system that works for you and you refine that intuition. So if your intuition was right, that's a data point you get to add into the database. So something that's really important to consider here is that if you are not analyzing your experiences, you miss opportunities to refine your intuition. If you aren't processing your experiences, you miss opportunities to gain wisdom. So if you're not thinking about what you've gone through, then you miss that nugget of wisdom. You don't obtain the nugget of wisdom. So we've been talking about discernment. This is your ability to make judgment calls. It's either negatively or positively affected depending on your level of conscious awareness of upgrading your intuition and upgrading your wisdom bank. So next week, we're going to talk about a system that will help you tap into the magic of your own.
Oh, wow. There you are. We lost you for a second there, Theresa. Okay, repeat the last 15 seconds.
Okay, great. So next week, we're going to talk about learning a system that's going to help you tap into the magic of your own conscious awareness, process information effectively, hopefully gain some crucial life-changing perspective, and master yourself and your experience. So there it is, you guys. I'm your hostess, Theresa Yanaris at Divine Frequency. Thank you for joining me for this evening's celebration. This is On the Airwaves Radio. This life is all about riding the wave between the known and the mystery. For a sparkly dose of media-tainment and personal empowerment with a refreshing blast of glitter and truth, join me weekly on Thursday nights on jimmychurchradio.com at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Time, the live Twitter hashtag, you got it, DF Airwaves. Email questions and perspectives to On the Airwaves at ontheairwavesradio@gmail.com. You can follow Divine Frequency on Twitter and Instagram. Go to thedivinefrequency.com and sign up for our newsletter to stay in the loop. The times have changed and the tides have shifted. Let's ride the airwaves. All around us are pieces of the gigantic cosmic puzzle. Let's attune to its frequency. Bye.
Thank you so much, Theresa. Discernment, the other big D, right? Thank you so much. And we'll see you right here next week, next Thursday on FADERNIGHT, right here on Faded Black. Thank you so much, Theresa. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you, Jimmy. You too.
Theresa Yanaris, right there. Divine Frequency on the airwaves. Seriously. The other big D, discernment. All right, I'll be right back after this short break, opening up the phone lines, open lines all night long. It is Thursday night. It is Fader Night. I'll be right back. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black. Stay with us.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on jimmychurchradio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at jimmychurchradio.com.
Times are changing. The circus of politics, healthcare's low standards and high prices, and let's not forget food quality. What to do? Arm yourself with Life Change Tea at getthetea.com. In a world of chemical imbalance and poor air and water quality, it's time you make a move. Log on to getthetea.com and stock up on organic non-GMO supplements. Don't forget the tea. Cleansing your body never felt so good. And we have a brand new tea called Takedown Tea, which helps support healthy glucose. All natural body support so you can be at your best, naturally. All you have to do is log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. We're not a fad that comes and goes. We are the real deal. Join us and armor up. Getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Changing America's health one tea bag at a time.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, The Planet.
Do you want to lose weight but have no idea where to begin? The Fast Start Diet, a 3-day weight loss plan, is the answer. 3 days of nutritionally balanced, calorie-restricted meals delivered right to your door. No shopping, no measuring, and no cooking. Everything is prepared for you and ready to eat at home or on the go. The Fast Start Diet has all the amazing benefits of intermittent fasting without starving. We've helped thousands of people who have struggled to reach their weight loss goals. Isn't it time we helped you? With the Fast Start Diet, you'll lose weight and feel great.
Find Fast Start Diet on Amazon or go to faststartdiet.com and use promo code TALK to get 10% off your first box. And as a special bonus, Fast Start will include their #1 rated Lipo3 appetite suppressant spray free with your order. This is Jimmy Church, and whatever your diet plans are, do what I did. Go to faststartdiet.com.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black, Thursday night, Fader night. Open lines all night long. Thank you, Theresa and Aris. Divine frequency on the airwaves. The other big D, discernment. That was really amazing. Now, I said we'll see her next Thursday. Next Thursday is Thanksgiving. So we are broadcasting on Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday and Thursday, we are taking off. Okay, there's the heads up. It's just one of those things. A little bit frantic here tonight in the studio. Battery backup started beeping before showtime. We gave a minute countdown. I was like, what's going on with that? And I almost thought for a second that I was imagining things. And wow, something is wrong with our second phone line here. I don't know what is going on. Phone lines 2 and 3, they're not going on to hold. I don't know what's going on with that. Okay, and so I see all the calls coming in, and you guys are probably, it just says failed. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to see if I can fix this. Let me see here. Let me do that. Maybe I should reboot. I don't know. Wow, that's bizarro world going on right there. Okay, which are phone lines 323-275-9695, 818-921-6929. Okay, let's see here. Let's try this. And it is saying failed. Wow. Okay, I don't understand what's going on there. I'll see what I can do during the break. And, wow, bizarre. Okay. Man, too many issues tonight. It was just crazy. So anyway, I was saying the battery backups are beeping. There's a digital display on the front, got these big deluxe backups. And it's telling me, minutes left. And I was like, what? we had a blip with the electricity, which kicked those off, and I couldn't get those to like stop providing battery power. And they wound down, shut down, and I had to go through the entire system here, finding extension cords, unplugging all of the racks of gear, and going with direct. It was absolutely nuts. And then I had to reset all of the computers. I had to reset the routers. I had to get all the data input. And that goes for YouTube and the feed and Spreaker, and all of that had to get reset and typed in. That's why it's all blank, most of it. But yeah, it was nuts. It was nuts. But we're here, and thank you to Theresa. We will be taking next Wednesday and Thursday off for Thanksgiving. With that, I've got one live phone bank right now, which is 323-825-5045. Let's go to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. You're first up. Who's calling? You're live.
Hello?
Yes, you're live.
Hi. Hi, this is PJ.
Hi, PJ. How are you?
I'm good. I'm in West Texas, and I'm calling because something weird happened to me today.
What happened,
First
PJ?
time ever, I saw something in the sky. I've never, ever seen anything in the sky.
Right.
It's after dinner. My son's 25. He says, Mom, come out on the porch. I need you to look at something. So I look up there. He's trying to point his phone up in the sky, and I see this thing. It's not an airplane. It's not a helicopter. I don't know what it is. It's longer than the moon. The moon is over to the left, which is like to the east of it. It's moving. It's brighter and longer than the moon, and it's like a line, but it's moving to the east.
What?
We tried to film it on our phones. I swear to God, just like everybody else always says, okay, we could see the moon in our phone, but we can't see the other stinking thing. The thing that's moving.
Right.
And it's bright. It's like, it didn't look like a contrail, like smoke coming out of something. It's like bright, sparkly stuff. What is that?
What city was this over?
It's Lubbock, Texas.
Lubbock, Texas. All right. And what time did this happen?
It was before 6, about 5:45.
About 5:45. Okay, so we've got all of our listeners in Texas and around Lubbock. 5:45. Did anybody see this? And did you get any video or images? I would like to see it. But you said that there was some sparkly stuff coming out of it?
It's like it was lighty. It wasn't smoke.
Right.
It was brighter than the moon. And I could get my son and I both could get the moon on our phone. But you swing over to the right, which is to the west.
Right.
And this thing, which is longer than the moon and brighter, you can't see it on your phone.
Wow. Interesting. What do you think it was? How long did it last, PJ?
It's not a comet because it would be farther out, and there's like some clouds. I mean, it was closer to us than the clouds.
Right.
Because there was clouds like behind it.
Right.
I don't know what it was.
Wow. How long did it last? Was it moving?
It was moving, but it was slow. And that's one thing my son said, how come it's moving so slow? That can't be a plane.
Right.
Because they would, I don't know. It's exasperating.
Yeah.
I want to know what it is.
Yeah, so do I. So do I. And so anybody else out there in Texas, Lubbock, so it was west of Lubbock.
I was seeing it in Lubbock proper.
Right.
It was west of Lubbock and moved, it's heading towards the moon area where, the moon is up there. So, and then it went around the building. So, anyway,
It went around the building, so it wasn't that high.
I mean, it wasn't that close. I mean, it went like on the horizon around to where I couldn't see. There was a building blocking my view. Then it came up high enough to where I couldn't see it.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, PJ, this is a great sighting.
I don't know if it's a sighting or not. It just bugs the heck out of me.
Well, we're going to find out. We're going to be taking a bunch of...
I couldn't see like a big... It wasn't like it was a ship or anything that I could see. It was just something in the sky, and it was... And that's the other thing. What I was seeing kind of indicated combustion.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I do. There's been a few videos posted over the last couple of days. One came out of California. I'm not sure where the second one was, that were showing these, lighted orb balls up in the sky that had sparkles coming off of the back of it and then went stationary. I dismissed it when Rita showed it to me. I said, you know what? I'm looking at I think it's, parachutes, right? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, okay, but it wouldn't go. It was going sideways.
And were these. Well,
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, and parachutists, they can fly sideways. They can go back and forth and do all of those crazy things. They don't come straight to the ground. Those parasails definitely do that. But that's what what you're describing sounds similar to what has been up in these videos over the last week. And
this lasted for a long. I don't know how anybody could be parachuting with something that looked like combustion for such a long time, just straight across.
Yeah, was it on the news?
No.
What?
No.
How could it not be on the
nobody.
news?
No. And that's what, and then my son says, and this is what everybody in this community feels too. He says, okay, I just had to call you out there to look at it with me, because if I tried to tell anybody about it and I can't film it on my phone, they'll say I'm making it up or I'm crazy.
Right, of course. That's how it goes.
I mean, if anybody sees it around here, I don't know if they're going to tell anybody on the news. I mean, really.
Did you try to take any pictures? Did you?
Yes, like I said, we both had our phones up.
Right.
On camera, and nothing.
Well, okay. Did you look at the images though that you tried to take?
Yes.
And those are blank.
Nothing.
Wow.
Well, it's not it's the sky. It's the moon. I was sweeping around and saying, I could see the moon and here's clouds.
Right.
And can't see it. And my son too. So.
Wow, PJ, that's a good sighting. That's a good sighting, and it was.
We were kidding about cloaking. Cloaking. Is it us or them? Cloaking.
I know, right?
Anyway, thank you for listening. I love your show.
Thank you,
for
PJ.
taking my call.
Thank you, and have a great rest of your weekend.
I will. You too.
Thank you so much. That's a great sighting. So that's Lubbock, Texas, everybody. So if you were in or around Lubbock, Texas tonight, 5:45 p.m., what did you see in the sky, if anything? Let's go back to the phones. Area code 410. You're up next. You're live.
Hi, Jimmy. Hey, Jimmy, this is Sean from Frederick, Maryland calling.
Hi, Sean from Frederick. How are you?
Doing fine. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. It's Thursday night, Fader night.
Yes, it is. Hello out there, faders. Hey, I wanted to reach out to you because the other night I was hearing a recorded podcast that you did regarding 29 Palms, California, and some stuff you've seen out there.
Yes.
So I was in the Marine Corps for 8 years. I was in 29 Palms for 4 of those years.
Right.
I've seen a few things out there myself, but I do know that some of the areas out there are actually not even allowed for some of us Marines to do some training out there. Some of the stuff is kind of quarantined off.
Why is that? Why?
For DARPA. So DARPA actually does a lot of their testing for different types of, stuff that they work on, all different types of things. None of the stuff is like told to us, like what they work on. But I just wanted to put that out there. We do a lot of testing out there, along with this other. Sorry about that. Along with this other location out in California. It's man, I wish I could remember the name of the mountain, but it's actually like a state park mountain in Northern California area. Marines go out there for mountain warfare training, but also civilians are out there hunting and stuff too. And they also do testing out there with DARPA and other things.
Right. So they're testing new technologies with DARPA.
Yes. Now, I don't know if the military is involved. I mean, DARPA does develop technology for the military, so I would imagine someone is informed, but it's not like a wide-known thing. Much I know for sure.
When you were in 29 Palms, did you see anything in the sky?
I sure did, yeah. It was broad daylight one time in particular. I was... me and my ex-wife now, we were married at the time. Anyway, we were heading towards Joshua Tree, leaving 29 Palms, and just over to the right, where the mountain ridge is that separates basically the civilian area of 29 Palms and the military base. All of our training area. It's 99 square miles of training area that we have out there.
Right.
It's a pretty big playground, big sandbox. Just above that mountain range, I saw this large object, which appeared to me to be like a blimp. It was kind of gray or almost the same color as the sky. And it was kind of cigar-shaped, but kind of ovaled. And I was watching this thing as my wife's driving, and I'm in the passenger seat, and I'm looking over there, and I'm watching it, and it's barely moving. And that's what really caught my attention. I was like, well, that's unusual. Maybe it's a blimp. But then it slowly started to turn, and as it turned, it just basically vanished, like it went invisible almost, like you couldn't see anything. I don't know if it's some sort of paint or cloaking technology, but it definitely blended in with the sky, and you couldn't see a thing.
Wow. Cloaking came up again tonight. There you go. And thank you for the phone call, Sean. There, Joshua Tree, 29 Palms, there's something going on out there. I mean, I've seen way too much stuff. And it's most definitely. Yeah, it's one of those things where you just go out there any given night and during the day too, but any night, just hang out and look, and you're going to see something spectacular. It's a pretty amazing place. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. I've seen stuff in the sky. I've seen stuff on the ground. I've seen stuff leave the ground more than once. It's unbelievable. And if you're looking to the sky and not seeing anything, you've got the Milky Way that you can look at, which is pretty unbelievable. Sean, enjoy the rest of your weekend, my friend, and thank you for the phone call.
All right, you too. Take care, Faders.
Right on. There you go. Frederick, Maryland. Let's go to area code 778. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Chad calling from British Columbia, Canada.
Hi, Chad from British Columbia, Canada. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
It's your phone call.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I'm calling. Basically, you had a guest on the other night, Johnny Enoch.
Yes.
From up here, and he mentioned me in his story about the apparent ET contact sightings that have happened up in the Fraser Valley up here near, kind of about an hour away from Vancouver.
Right.
And he suggested I call in, and so did you there. So I figured I would call in because I was out there.
Yes. And he said that you were compiling some stuff too, as well.
Yeah, I've been up there twice, and the last time I went up there with two other folks, like he mentioned, and the person I was with, the female, she, along the fence line of this park, Johnny mentioned, she definitely started experiencing some crackling and popping sounds, which I've understood since are sometimes common or prevalent in UFO abduction or near abduction experiences.
Right.
And that was odd because I couldn't hear the exact same thing, but it was bothering her quite a bit. And anyways, I took some, I'm not an expert at taking plaster footprints by any means. It was my first attempt, and I'm an amateur. So I tried taking some odd prints I saw on the other side of the fence in the prohibited zone on the other side of the park. And I sent some pictures and videos of this park and of those to you today by email. And unfortunately, you can't see a lot of detail yet in those prints in the video. I'm still trying to brush it off and get it as clean as possible. I'm not an expert on it, but anyways, I thought I would call in about this situation because it is very odd up there, and people are seeing beings up there.
Okay, I got a bunch of, let me see what I got here. I got two, these are from Kevin, but that's you, right?
Oh, yeah, sorry. That's
okay. So I got a couple of videos, and I got 5 images that you have sent. That's what, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, looks like 4. Okay.
Yeah, those are some images of the park themselves. You'll see a fence in some of those images, and on the other side of that fence seems to be like a hydro building or a power building of some sort, which I found was maybe kind of interesting because, you know, you hear things about UFOs being attracted to sites like that or being attracted to volcanoes and just like energy in general.
Right. And now let's get to those hoof prints. I find that really interesting. What did they look like? How big were they?
Well, what I saw there along the tree line that you'll see on the one side of the fence, on the park side of the fence, and actually on the other side of the fence in the prohibited area, there were some prints. But the prints, they do look to seem not too large, maybe about, 3 inches by 2 inches kind of thing. And they're rather kind of square-shaped a bit, maybe not exactly square, but kind of like that on the side where one of the contactees said that he saw them and they had hoof-like feet, which I've found was kind of odd because usually you don't hear that description with the grays, at least I don't.
Right.
And in the ground, sure enough, there's a lot of marks in the ground. They're definitely not, they don't look like dog paw marks, and they're going in further in the ground than the dog would, because I saw a dog running around there actually. And they do look kind of that shape, I must say. But I'm not an expert tracker by any means or anything like that, but it is a little weird. There's no gardening going on there. It's not even worth gardening. And so I'm not sure what all these little markings would be. And on the other side of the fence in the prohibited area, that's where I saw some more interesting marks. So looked honestly more like 3 toes or something.
Wow. And
yeah.
So did you get any plaster cast?
I did. I took some plaster footprints or whatever you want to call it of the smaller ones, which I don't really think they'll look like anything. And then I took some of the ones I was more interested in on the other side of the fence. And that would be, they look to be about 4 inches by 4 inches kind of. And they kind of look like they have like 3 toes almost, at least when I saw them. So I'm planning on going back there actually tonight or tomorrow to hopefully get some better images of the print in the ground, and then I can send you those as well. But the plaster, they don't really look like too much yet.
Right, yeah, plaster is a little bit deceiving. I've only held a couple of those in my life, and they never look like what the print looked like, right? What was in the ground. And it throws you off a little bit. I'm not an expert either. But the 3-toed thing is pretty interesting. I mean, how many animals on this planet have 3 toes? 3-toed sloth, maybe, right? What else has 3 toes? I don't know. That seems a little bit weird to me. 4 or 5, and back to the hoofs. I know I'm not an expert tracker at all. But I know what a horse hoof looks like, right? I know what that looks like. Or like a deer hoof, that's got that, like 2 toes, kind of thing. But something square, I don't know. I've got to see these. Take some pictures of the hoof marks. I don't know. I haven't seen the videos yet. You've sent me 2 videos, so I'll take a peek at those.
The video just kind of gives you an outlay of the area in general and the park and the prohibited side where it's a power building or whatever.
Right.
The area, I got to say, the area would be in a good location to make contact with people, but also kind of be, out there. It's not right in the middle of town. It's on the edge, up the side of a mountain. And on the other side of this park it's very like rural. There's not many houses and stuff. And it could be a good location, but strangely, the one sighting, he said that there is a craft on the other side in the prohibited area where there's a big flat kind of paved ground for whatever reason beside that building I mentioned. And I found that quite odd because it would be a very convenient site for them to kind of just land a smaller craft and lure people in through the park and stuff that might be around there without too many eyes.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Yeah, it's pretty big, too. I'm looking at the pictures here. This is turning out to be a very interesting case. So I know that you're going to head back out there tonight. I do want to see some pictures of these 3 toes and also the hoof prints and anything else that you can collect. There's something going on. I got a bunch of email today about Johnny and what he was describing up there. I got like 3 from people that went out to the park after Johnny's show. Going, dude, I'm out here now. Yeah, this is a great. Yeah, absolutely. So let's continue this, Chad. Yeah. Okay. Listen, I got to head towards a commercial break here. Keep us posted. All right. I will look at the video and the other stuff, and I'll talk to you over the weekend. Thank you so much, Chad.
Sounds good. And if anybody wants to see it, I'm planning on uploading more on my new Twitter, which is Fruit and Truth.
Fruit and Chad. Fruit and what?
Yeah. Oh, Fruit and Truth.
Oh, Fruit and Truth. There you go. Thank you, Chad. Get out there, man.
Yeah, I just heard somebody saying to shut the F up. I don't know if that was coming in on the line on my end or...
No. That's I don't know what that is. But go and get some work done, okay? And I'll talk to you next week.
Did you hear that as well?
No, I did not.
Okay. All right. That's odd. I guess so.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye. And with that, I got to take a commercial break right here. Let's see, what are we up to? I'm out of sequence. And let's phone lines are back up and running on the other side, so that's all good. So 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. It's Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Fader night, Thursday night, open lines all night long. I'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Folks, this is very important information. What's to be said about CBD? AncientLifeOil.com. Our CBD is made from hemp and has 0.003 THC, which means this wonderful product won't get you high, no matter what amount you take. What does CBD do for the body? My hands are tied. But you can Google CBD benefits and be astounded. When you're finished reading, you'll want to log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com and purchase. Life is good when you feel good. People are tired of pain. People are asking for non-GMO organic products to help them with you fill in the blank. Legal in 49 states, and again, our CBD is made from hemp. Ancient Life Oil is about helping people one by one by one. If you wonder how good the product is, the CEO takes it every day without miss. AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Have a great day.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on Jimmy Church
GameChangerRadio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA digital broadcast station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. Well, we are of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And I'm Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
Reclaim your active lifestyle with Angioprim. Angioprim is the original liquid oral chelation supplement. Chelation helps remove toxins, heavy metals, and cholesterol in your veins and arteries that can cause blockages. Scientific research proves the active ingredient in Angioprim has superior oral chelation action that helps promote cardiovascular health. Find out more. Go to angioprim.com. Talk to a trained consultant by calling Angioprim toll-free 877-882-7221.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official FADERNIGHT by just going to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hey, it's Grace. Can we talk about something serious for a minute? Your age. Getting old has its perks. But remember, being a few years younger, you know, your hair was thicker, you didn't have so many wrinkles, that extra weight wasn't haunting you, and you just felt better. Well, we can't turn back the clocks and go back 10 or 15 years, but you can start feeling and looking 10 or 15 years younger with Nature's Youth RSF. It's a doctor-formulated daily supplement that helps your body maintain its peak performance and fight the aging process. Imagine sleeping better, looking better, and feeling better. See how Nature's Youth RSF has helped thousands of people just like you at nature'syouth.com. nature'syouth.com. Imagine how it will feel when your family and friends are asking you what you did to look so good. Your secret will be Nature's Youth RSF. It's time to start looking better and feeling better. Learn more and order your Nature's Youth RSF at nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. Thursday night, Fader Night. Open lines all night long. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. Open lines all night long. And what's going on up there in BC right now at this park? I have no idea. But multiple witnesses, and there's something happening up there, and I can't wait for this investigation to continue. With that, let's go back to the phones. Let's go to Indianapolis, Naptown. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. This is Susan from Indianapolis.
Hi, Susan from Indianapolis. You got through. Okay.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
What part of town?
When you went to
Susan,
Karma Records,
yes.
Did they have the little areas where you could go listen to some of the records to see if you wanted to buy it?
I can't remember that. It might have. But no, I can't remember that. I had my guys behind the counter that I would go up and they would always,
you had connections.
Yeah, they would play me the secret stuff. The one on 21st and Post Road, that was my hangout,
right.
And I just loved that store. And I heard it's still there.
Is it?
Yeah, I know. What part of town are you in?
I'm southeast.
Southeast?
In Franklin Township.
You're in Franklin Township. Okay. Yeah, my parents and my brothers are over in Avon on the west side.
Oh, okay. West side.
Yeah,
west side.
but I
grew up. What I wanted to talk about
was
you had David Wilcock on, and you talked about Beyond Majestic.
Uh-huh.
I went on and paid the money and watched that film. It's like 2 hours long. And I have to say, that movie pulls everything together. That's the hub, and all of the other ideas and theories are the spokes. I really enjoyed that movie, and I will probably watch it again. But have you watched it?
Yes, I have. I've seen it a couple of times. Let me ask you this, Susan. You've been researching the UFO phenomenon for how long?
Well, I wasn't really into it that much until June 5th of 2015, when I was outside with my dogs. It was dark, and all of a sudden I saw this strange thing in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't moving. It was pretty much round. It was flashing red lights in a circle. I could see it. It was dark out, but it was darker than the dark. And I could see it, and I stood there and I thought, well, that must be a blimp or something left over from the 500-mile race, because sometimes they hang around for a while.
Right.
And I just stood there and looked at it, and it went from the red lights to a yellowish green light, and they flashed. It stayed there and stayed there. I stood on my back porch and watched this darn thing. Didn't have sense enough to come in and get my phone. I just stood there totally transfixed. It hovered. It did not move. It didn't waver in the breeze. Nothing. All of a sudden, it just went and headed north from here, more toward downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't say anything for a long time. I thought, that's just stupid. I can't believe I saw what I saw. And there's no way a plane went that fast. It just zoomed. And so about 2 months later, I got online and looked up UFO sightings June 5th, 2015.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be darned, there was a guy and his band playing a gig down in Fountain Square. You know where Fountain Square is?
Of course, yes.
Okay. He was playing a gig down there. They were outside on a break between sets and having a smoke. And he saw this thing with flashing red lights and flashing yellow-green lights up in the sky. And it didn't move. It didn't do anything. And then finally it just went and took off. So I knew I wasn't imagining. So I wasn't too into anything like this until then. And that's when I started listening to Coast to Coast and enjoyed you being on once in a while on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then when you mentioned Fade to Black, I was like, I'm going to check this out. And I love it. I don't think I'm ever going to get a night's sleep.
Well, that's the point. That's the point, Susan. That is exactly the point. Well, and going back to, and I want to thank you for the phone call. Going back to Above Majestic, if that's the perfect documentary for you, in that if you've been researching for 20 or 30 years, you may not get new information, because that means you're researching and you're listening and checking things out. But if you are just now getting your feet wet, right, the last 3 years, Above Majestic is perfect for you to go and just check out. It gives you different areas to go and research and look and see what you can find out. But you've now seen, when you have a sighting, and I say this all the time, Susan, when you have your first sighting, that's the game changer. That's the moment. That's the epiphany in life where you start to find out that things aren't what they seem. And that's happened to you.
Right.
Of all places, over Franklin, right?
Franklin Township.
Yeah, Franklin Township. That is too funny. That is too funny. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I went to Warren Central.
It just was there.
I went to Warren Central High School.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
You hung around here for a while, but you're like a world traveler. You were an Army brat.
Yeah, I was an Army brat. You got Fort Ben Harrison right there in Indy. That's why we were there.
Absolutely.
So, there you go. Susan, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and thank you for the phone call.
I certainly will.
And I love Naptown.
Thank you very much, Jimmy.
Rock and roll.
All
Thank
right.
you so much.
Mm-hmm. Bye.
Bye. I love it. She said the band was in between sets having a smoke. She loves her music. She loves her rock and roll and Indianapolis and UFOs and Fade to Black and Coast to Coast. Life is good. All right, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. It's Scott.
Hey, Scott. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. You know what? I've been thinking about you all day long, and the reason why is because I haven't had a vacation in 9 years.
Right.
And I'm actually going back, and I'm flying to Indianapolis tomorrow.
Right on.
And I'm going back. Yeah, I'm going back, and then I'm driving out of Indianapolis to go up to Grand Rapids to surprise my folks. And you guys are hitting some areas. Do you remember Crawfordville and 16th Street?
Crawfordsville and 16th Street. Well, I know both roads. What's on that corner?
Right, and they go. Well, there's the Indianapolis 500 right there.
Well, I was going to say that's Speedway.
Right, Speedway. That's where my dad grew up, and my mom grew up in Ben Davis.
Right.
So it's just incredible. But I'm going to go back, and I'm going to save some White Castles when I drive back.
Well, you got to do that. Rita and I went to the movies to go see Bohemian Rhapsody a couple of weeks ago here in Burbank, and right in front of the theaters is a Steak and Shake. Man. It rocks, man. It just takes me right back to Indianapolis. I'm so glad
the pork
they're here.
Sandwiches?
I do the normal double cheeseburger with fries and chili 3 ways and a chocolate shake. That's what I do. What else is there to eat at Steak and Shake? Well, maybe a strawberry shake.
But those baked beans were pretty good too.
Man, I just like that chili 3 ways. It's got a taste, man. Oh man, it's the only way to go.
Hey Jimmy, I've got a question to ask you. And I wrote it down because it was like bugging me all week long before I took off. And so I'm going to read this to you. I feel as though something is playing with our peripheral conscious, and if something is playing with our peripheral perception, well, it sounds to me like it's a very bad thing. We need to be careful about what is going on here. Just because you cannot see it, does it mean that it does not exist?
Are you saying in your subconscious or like for real in your peripheral?
I'm saying for real. I mean, these entities come in and they go out when they want and please. So something is playing with that peripheral consciousness that we cannot. Does that make sense, or am I just?
Well, I haven't experienced what well, maybe I have, but I haven't experienced that directly. This is the thing. If you go back to what was the movie? Fantastic Planet, was that it? With what is that sound? Is that you? Okay.
Me? No.
Yeah, you got some kind of weird sound in your phone line. But
myself?
In that movie, the creatures that were there were energy creatures from another dimension created by our own mind, and they were energy, invisible. And I've always thought about that somebody brought up rods the other night on the show too as well. That I think that there could be a whole nother dimension full of life out there of flying, crawling, creepy things and living, but we don't see them on our frequency. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Yeah. So that could be something that you're seeing. I don't know, but I've often thought about that there could be stuff flying around, right?
Yeah.
And for a second,
they
just like
come and go when they want.
Yep. and kind of bleep in. You've got some noise in your line, Scott. It's really
That's
loud.
not my line. I don't know what that is. It's not my phone.
It's not anything here. I can tell you that.
I'm by myself in the office right now, so I don't know where that's coming from. That's so strange.
Okay. Well,
anyways,
enjoy your trip back to Indy and have a safe flight.
I'm going to, man. I wish you were coming with me, buddy.
I wish I was too. All right. Waffle House and Steak and Shake. I'll talk to you.
Yeah, I will. Thank you, buddy.
Okay,
Bye.
man. Bye. And so we'll see if that noise just went away. I have a feeling that was Scott's phone. That was Scott. Yeah, whatever it was coming from him. Let's go to area code 408. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. It's Deb from Sacramento. That noise must be the CIA listening again.
Yeah, that was Scott's Walmart phone. He won't spring for a real phone, but there you go.
There you go. So, how's the air quality there in Burbank?
Well, it's not that bad. It was bad on Saturday and Sunday when the wind had changed directions, but everything is blowing west, south and west out to the ocean. I mean, you can look at all the satellite images of the smoke. It's going in the other direction, so it's not bad. Saturday night when I drove into Coast, because it had changed directions, and I drove right through. Man, it was pretty gnarly, and it smelled gnarly. I didn't like that at all, but we're okay now.
Well, we're gnarly here. I think it looks like the apocalypse outside still. It looks like you can smell the smoke still, and it's like a foggy, thick day every day here until the winds pick up.
Yeah.
It's awful.
How far was the fire from you?
Well, I think 85 miles from here.
Right.
Paradise, yeah.
Right, but you were getting the smoke over Sacramento proper?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
and we still today. I mean, the sun was pink. Literally, it was very pretty. As the sun wasn't setting, and I look out the window at work, and there's so much smoke covering it. Still, it was pink. I should have taken a picture of it. It was really pretty, but the effects weren't very obviously what was causing it.
Man.
But I had friends in Paradise who evacuated with their pets. They got out last Thursday morning, and they're just holding place in a hotel in Redding, and they're safe. And get this, their house is still standing.
Wow.
Last report, their house has not burned down yet. Their workplace is gone, but their house, I mean, it's just a miracle, is still standing. And they're very spiritual people. So I don't know,
Well,
I don't know why them, but it's
L.A. Marzulli, who lost his house, the GoFundMe, we were looking to raise $95,000. It's up to $105,000. So
good.
He's exceeded his.
Oh, you mean
goal.
we've made 105? Yeah, we've made 105.
Yeah, 105,513. So 10,000 over goal. And, there was a video that he's got posted up of him over at the Red Cross. And, they've got to, I mean, he lost everything like so many others did. But that was successful, and hopefully that'll help him. I mean, the losses with him are so great that just like anybody else, that's, when you lose everything. So that money is a drop in the bucket, but it, every little bit helps. And there you go.
Well, your speaker last night was talking about, the New World Order and all those different things. And he talked at one point, I think he touched on the thing about how there was a New World Order plan to get us out of the wide areas where we can farm and sustain ourselves and herd us into the cities. I think he said something like that.
Right.
And I had heard about that before. And when I first heard about it, and then he brought it up again, I thought about these wildfires, because then I go online, I'm looking at, energy-directed weapons, and that was brought up when Santa Rosa burned down last year, too. And you can actually see video, and I don't know if it's real or not, but there's video on YouTube of these blue beams that they look like they're being, shot out of the sky. And, and they're saying, oh, PG&E is saying it was their issue, and whatever. But it does make me wonder, because my friend who evacuated from Paradise said, the thing was, Deb, how can one campfire out of control, cause all this devastation? She said, literally, we were evacuated so suddenly. She goes, literally, it was just, first it's here, and then it's burning here and here and here, and how can something spread that quickly? Well, it could be energy-directed weapons, and they're just beaming it all over the place at once. Or the other thing that I read about and see is when they're chemtrailing, they're spraying the aluminum up there, and it falls on the ground, and they're saying that when the fire hits it, it's like throwing fuel on the fire. Now, what do you think about that? 'Cause I don't know.
Before I go that far down the conspiracy road, because that's going way far. And these fires are still burning, and there are people out there right now dealing with their homes and loss of life and everything else. I'm not going to visit that. I'm not going to visit that thought.
Okay.
Look, all you have to do, when you go through any of these fires, go and look at a video. I've lived in these fires. And when you're dealing with 50, 40, 50, 60 mile an hour winds blowing those embers around, you don't need any directed energy, anything. It's a crazy just firestorm of sparks and coals and chunks and things that are just blowing all over the place. And that fire out here, just like the one in Paradise, swept across, went from Simi Valley to the Pacific Ocean in hours. Okay, it takes hours to do the drive, let alone to have a fire. It's just crazy how fast it burned. And
you're right.
Those burning embers. Look at those videos at night. You can't see it so much during the day, but the embers are the same at night as they are during the day. And look at what's blowing around. So don't, for me, I'm not going to go.
I know. My mind just starts to, go crazy with looking at that stuff. It's like, I don't know if I should bring this up or not.
If I'm somebody that's just lost a house, a family member, some pets, I've lost everything that I own. The last thing I want is some doofus like me on the radio going, directed energy weapons, man, from space,
or
dude.
me.
Well,
okay,
I'm not speaking about you,
but
I'm not going to be the one that's going to start spreading that around, not without some bona fide proof.
So the final burning question that I want to leave with everyone: once the smoke clears and everything's clear, and they're up there and they're recovering, firemen and everything, I wonder how many dead Bigfoot bodies they'll find.
Oh, stop. All right, Deb, have a great weekend.
You too, Jimmy.
Yeah, thank you
By
so
the way,
much.
I loved your shirt you had on the other night of Bigfoot. I can tell you've jumped off the fence.
No, that was sent in to me from a listener, him and his family.
I love it.
Yeah, sent that in. Thank you so much, Deb.
You too. Take care, Jimmy. Have a great weekend.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
You too. Thank you so much. And, oh, man, I did it. I just closed the wrong phone bank. I hate that when I do that. All I have to do is look down and look at the lights, and I know what's going active, and I just plugged the wrong thing. So let's go here. I apologize to everybody that was on hold over there. It's the way it goes. All right. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Who, me?
Yes, you.
It's Chloe.
Hi, Chloe. How are you?
You just be honest. You hung up on everyone else because I was calling.
I know. And I did it without malice, too, man. I just went, boop.
Yeah, I don't know. Speaking of the fires, instead of directed energy weapons, you might want to look up where the volcanoes are located in California.
There's volcanoes in California?
All over the place.
Oh, you're talking about like Shasta and Mount Adams and
No, I'm talking about all over the place. You should look it up. They're drilling right into the sides of them, for the thermal energy thing.
Oh, don't freak me out, Chloe.
I'm telling you the truth. Go look it up.
Oh, man. Okay.
True story.
True story. Okay, so what's on your mind?
Well, you wanted me to call back in.
I did.
For some questions.
Yes.
To ask me.
Well.
Yes. Well, before I answer your questions, though, I need to state something for myself personally.
Okay.
I know that some people who have never had any type of experience, like any of mine, think that someone like me is just kind of crazy, a little bit off. And I have had, at my own request, a complete psychological evaluation by a neuropsychiatrist. I have seen a psychiatrist for help dealing with stress related to my experiences. And I have no delusional disorder. I'm not schizophrenic, unless these two guys who are well educated are just really wrong, you know?
Right.
Secondly, you're going to ask me what I was told.
Right.
And, okay, and that's your question. Now, it's hard for me to determine where certain messages come from, because I've seen various different beings, not just one type. So when I get messages telepathically, I don't know which ones they're from. I mean, but I can tell you things that I've heard, but I can't tell you the source of those things. But a lot of the things I've been told are more personal. The one thing that wasn't personal, I don't think, so it could be, is when I kind of... You see, it's really weird because it felt like I had been in a trance for years of my life, if not my entire life, and I woke up in January of 2017. There was a shift at the end of 2016, but in January of 2017, it was like I woke up, and the first thing I heard was a very frantic, "We're running out of time. We're running out of time." And it was like repeated, "We're running out of time." And I'm like, running out of time for what? Who's running out of time? No, there's no clarification for that. And I don't know what that means, and I know that a lot of people will make up a lot of stories to go with that, and I'm sorry, but I don't know what that means, and it could be a personal thing, and I think you know what I'm talking about without me mentioning that.
Sure. Well, okay. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put you on hold, Chloe, because we're up against a break right here, which I have to take. So, and then we'll pick up on the backside when we come back. And yes, I mean, I've got a bunch of questions, and I'm sure that some are probably going to come in on Twitter too as well. And we'll do all of that. Okay, so just stay right there. Let's take a quick break. This is Fade to Black. It's Thursday night, Fader night, and when we come back, I'll pick it up with Chloe, and I'm going to do a little recap with you right now. Chloe had the blue orbs in her living room with her husband that actually entered her body, and we found out about that last week and the week before. So tonight we'll come back. We'll talk more about this with Chloe. It's Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. We'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing Numana, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All Numana products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the Numana pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the Numana banner on JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously. Go Beckley Tappy. Do you want to be an official Fadernight? Of course you do.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
If you have hard water, the lime scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate lime scale and other water issues like brown staining and bad odors with HydroCare water products, available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable water systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Are you intrigued by paranormal talk radio? You'll love the new paranormal radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the paranormal radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fader Night. Open lines, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. Talking to Chloe, and we kept Chloe on through the break. Now, Chloe, let's... when the communications and any messages, well, I'm interested in all of it, but we started to get into that last week. So how and what were you told?
How was I told? See, that's just it. I mean, I hear telepathic messages.
Right.
I don't know if the visions come from them or if that's just part of my thing, because I started seeing auras when I was like 9 years old, 10 years old. I started doing out-of-body things when I was a teenager, and then the precognitive ability started when I was about 13, and it became increasingly more accurate and stronger. But it's not like I hear or see things all the time, because that would be bad.
Right.
So when I hear or see something, I mean, it's kind of like I told you last week, there's a little white bouncing orb that I've seen. My husband has seen it. My son, who never saw anything, except when he was real young, he even saw it. So it's like, okay, well, there's confirmation that there really is and I don't know what it is. I have no idea.
Okay, well, let's talk okay, did you write any of these down?
No.
Okay, so it's just all by memory. And so when the first blue orb came into your living room and entered your body, did you get a message then?
No, there are 5 of them. Well, not that I know of, but the strange thing about that entire, there were 5 to 7. It's not like I was counting them. I'm standing there like in awe. It was almost like we were in a trance. We didn't talk about it for years. We just talked about it in 2017. I mean, every now and then we'd be like, yeah, those orbs are really weird, but we never thought much more about them.
Right.
And I knew that they weren't like the orbs where people go take pictures and they're like, look at the dust, you know? So these were things that we saw with our eyes. We walked downstairs and there they were.
Mm-hmm.
Someone said ball lightning. Well, I think I would be dead if that were the case. Especially, you know, ball lightning really likes me and comes and visits me multiple more times. I don't know if they're the ones who give me messages. I do know that they do something with energy, because the energy that runs through my body is like, that's why they're there. And I don't know what that means. I don't know what it's about. I'm like, it would be great. That's what's so frustrating about it. And if I did get a message about what it's about, sometimes I'm like, is just me making this up, or is this them? Because normally when it's a message telepathically, it's very clear. And it's just like someone's, you know, like talking, like I'll be sitting there doing something and it's like, hey, you need, you know, I'll give you an example. This is totally personal. I'm doing something online one night. Who knows what I'm doing? All of a sudden, it's like, you need to go look at used cars. And I'm like, what? I'm not going to go look at used cars. And they know I argue with them, whoever it is. So I just kind of ignore it. It's like, no, you need to go look for used cars. And I'm like, why would I go look for used cars? It's like, well, your son's going to be driving soon. I'm like, well, that's a good reason. All right, okay, I'll go look. And I'm kind of looking around, and I'm getting frustrated. I'm like, this is a waste of my time. And it's like, you go to, and it said the name of a place. You like that place. And I'm like, I do? I've never been to that place. But apparently I like it, so I'll go there. And I go, and the first car is like $24,000, or a used car for $12,000. I'm not going to buy my son, who's learning to drive, a $12,000 vehicle. So it says, go all the way to the bottom of the page. So I go all the way to the bottom of the page. There's a Volvo for $7,000. It's in pristine condition. It used to belong to the wife of one of the state representatives. And she drove it from here to, I guess, Sacramento once or twice a month. I don't know. When she traded it in and got a new one. So we got a $7,000 Volvo for my son to learn to drive on, which he never did. But anyway, and I'm like, okay, why do I have a Volvo? Because it's like, I don't need a Volvo. And then the Volvo saves my husband's life, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And the last time was on the freeway coming back from L.A., and one of those huge tarps fell off of a semi, landed on the road, bounced. The Volvo hit it. The Volvo went airborne. It came down and landed on 2 wheels on the side, and then it kind of straightened itself out and, you know, stayed in its own lane. And then he had to get off the freeway, and then it died. And that was the end of the Volvo. So, yeah.
Well, you know what they say about Volvos? They're boxy, but they're safe. So,
yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. So that's one message. Now, was this from ET, or is this just some kind of precog thing? Have you been getting messages?
That was not me. That was not me. Me is probably the Volvo is going to be destroyed today, which is when it was destroyed. You know, that's probably me, like me knowing this, but then me not feeling like I should call him and warn him, because it's like, and normally I would, but it's like the Volvo is going to be destroyed, but there was nothing that he would have done differently, which is probably why I didn't feel that need, that urgency to pick up the phone, because he did pull over and he did sit somewhere for like a little over an hour because traffic was heavy, and then he did take an alternate route. Now, he would have done the same thing if I had called him. So he would have been on the same road. He would have pulled over and waited, and he would have taken an alternate route.
Sure.
And it would have been the same thing.
Now, what about messages from space? Have you gotten those?
What do you mean?
From E.T.
Well, that's just it. I can't differentiate. I think that I have something that has been with me my whole life, and the whole you'll always be cared for, and something that originally the first time I heard it was external, and then I heard it in my head. But it was almost like I'm hearing it external first, so I know it's not me, and then I hear it in my head, so I know that that's how we're going to communicate now. And things that there have been little, I can't prove anything, but I could tell you I got really upset one day. I was watching the Science Channel. This was years ago. Stephen Hawking was on. He was talking about everything that enters a black hole is immediately destroyed. And I got like, no, Stephen, you are so wrong. It's like things aren't totally annihilated when they enter a black hole. It's kind of like I explain it like a vacuum cleaner. And, I don't know what kind of vacuum cleaner you have, but we have one that spins around and around and around, and you can watch it. And we had a mouse in the house one time, and we caught one with the vacuum cleaner. It was a little dazed and confused, but it was very much alive afterwards. If something is going at the right angle and fast enough, or maybe not even fast enough, but at the right angle, I don't think it's going to be obliterated. I just don't. I think it's the same kind of principle. It's going to be sucked into it and through it, and then I don't know. But then I said something about if there are black holes, there are also white holes, Stephen. And then I don't know how many years later, was it Stephen Hawking that talked about white holes, things where stars are born, places where the universe opens up and energy comes out, star nurseries and such. And I'm like, there you go. Now you're on the right track. So, yeah, I do have knowledge, but I don't get it the same way. I get warnings that way.
Well, it sounds like you're at peace with it. That's you're in communication. You fight, you argue, you laugh with them, and
yeah, we argue.
And I think that's a really cool thing. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who it is. They haven't identified themselves, but maybe one day they will. And if they do, you're going to let me know, right?
Oh, yeah. I just kind of wonder sometimes if all this, like a number of things that I've seen are actually the same thing. I mean, the spheres might very well be the mantid beings.
Could be.
I don't know that they're not, but
right.
They might be. The angelic thing might be another form of the same thing. I don't know if I'm dealing with lots of different groups or the same group. Or, one thing I can tell you, one thing that I was told is that I have 12 guides who come to me in sets of 4, and I'll know them by what they teach me. And right now I'm like, what are you teaching me now? Because I want this lesson to be over, because this is the hardest part of my life right now. This is some of the hardest stuff I've ever been through. And, yeah, I want this lesson to be over, I guess.
Yeah, I'm going through the same stuff. I think we all are. I mean, I was definitely tested today for sure. So there you go. But you got to be strong. You got to be positive, and everything is worth fighting for. That's it. So testing, yeah, man, I'm so with you on that. Well, do me a favor, Chloe. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And we'll see you right here on Monday. We've got Thanksgiving coming up, so we got lots to be thankful for. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chloe.
Bye.
That's a great phone call right there, man. I didn't mean to quite click that fast, but Chloe, thank you for the phone call. Sounds like, and I'm watching here on Twitter, a lot of you are saying guardians, guardian angels, gremlins, right? So I see all of that, and let's try to figure it out together, right? All right, let's see. Who's up next? Let's go to area code 360. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. It's Tanette.
Hi, Tanette. How are you?
Oh, I'm getting a wicked reverb.
You're getting a wicked what?
Reverb. Echo.
Well, you're not getting echoey here. You sound great.
Oh, okay. So I just wanted to make some comments about the wildfires. There's been a lot of people posting on Twitter about like the roads are being direct energy weapons.
Right.
And I've looked at the pictures, and what I'm seeing is it is not these roads and bridges are not concrete. They're asphalt.
Okay.
And they were very, very poorly constructed, because I don't even know how they laid asphalt across the top of basically a steel structure.
Right. Well, I haven't seen these pictures that you're talking about, so I don't really have any comment there. But are you suggesting that you think that there was directed energy DEWs used on these fires to start them?
No, it's possible that they were, but in these instances that people are posting these pictures on Twitter of like a bridge that has like sections missing out of it. Well, the pictures that they're posting, it's like, oh, well, nothing else was burned around the whole area. But if you look at the picture, if you look over, the one that I was thinking of was, if you look over to the left of the picture, there is a tree that's completely scorched. So obviously the fire went through there. But some people are saying, oh, you can't burn concrete. It burns at 1,200 degrees or whatever. Well, this is not concrete. It's asphalt. Asphalt melts at 302 degrees.
Right.
Asphalt can melt on a hot day.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Right. And you think about a tarmac where the planes get stuck on the tarmac just because it's hot.
Right. Right. Tires sink into it.
Go ahead.
I said tires sink into it.
Right.
Right. So, the stuff that's going on with this, when something like this happens, and in this case, it's fires, it's forest fires, or whether it's a hurricane, or it's a tornado, or it's an earthquake, and it's directed energy weapons, it's a thermonuclear bomb, it's weather control, it's HAARP, everybody just needs to chill out on that. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen and that the technology is not there, but right now these homes are still smoldering. Right, there are people out here in California that have gone through tragedy, and it sickens me when people are going to go and create these photographs and these beams and they think it's funny, and it's not. I know of no technology. What are they honestly suggesting here? I know that we have plasma weapons that we're building. I know that there are high energy lasers out there that are being constructed. But to turn around and say directed energy weapons, it just. Don't go to a UFO conference, man. They use directed energy weapons there, man. DEW. Man, stop with that. Right? Just stop with it. Stop with it. I'm not there, man. I'm not. And if somebody wants to, not listen to the show or not follow me or church, man, either you're all in or you are not. You know what? I live here. You need to stop with that. I live here. And then, unless there's proof, then stop it. I just don't buy into it. I'm glad you're not either tonight. Thank you for the phone call. Everything good in your world?
Yeah. There was one very interesting theory though about the way that the fire ran in there was a proposal for a fast rail train.
Okay.
And the fire actually followed it exactly. I mean, you can put the map over top of each other, that the fire actually followed the exact path of what they proposed for some fast rail train thing. And they said maybe they're burning the land so that the people who actually live there will sell their houses and their property for cheap because it got burned. And I thought that theory was very interesting. I'm thinking, well, that's just a weird coincidence.
Could be. I'd have to see it on a map. I mean, wow. That again, that's a bit of a reach. Why not just offer somebody some, cash?
Well, they did, but
they could do a land grab.
Nobody wanted to take it.
If they definitely had to build a high-speed rail through there, quite honestly, they'll just go in and take the property and pay you later and evict you off of the property, come in and take you and your kids, as tragic as that sounds, right? And cut you a check. I don't know. I don't know.
People...
is it possible? Is it possible, Tanette, that some electrical sparks, just started the fire? Is that possible?
Yes, and I think that's probably part of the situation. But you'll have to look this up, Jimmy, because it's just compelling.
Okay.
So the exact path of the rail, supposed rail, was the exact path of the fires.
Right.
Just saying.
Well, what about down here in Southern California? There's no high-speed rail here, and it went from Simi Valley across the valley, jumped a freeway, went through the mountains, and ended up at in Malibu at the Pacific Ocean. I mean,
right. From what? Sorry, I probably misspoke. It was supposed to be a lowest speed rail.
A low speed? Well, not here in the valley. Maybe up in Paradise, but not down here. There's no low speed rail that goes from.
It was only low speed because they were trying to put it along the highways and stuff, so they couldn't have high speed. Otherwise, there would be crashes and what have you.
Right. Well,
but this proposal went through a couple of years ago, and then they and all the homeowners along the path said, no, we don't want to sell.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden, then there's fires along that path, and then now their property is going to be worth nothing because it's burnt.
Okay. All right. Well, send me the info, and I'll look into it. Okay. I really appreciate it, Tanette.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Be safe and be well.
You too.
Thank you so much.
Good night.
Good night. And that's the point with all of you Fadernauts. You guys bring the knowledge here. And let me see what I've got going on. Let me see here. Hold on. Let's do this. I want to click here. Ask. Let's see here. Hold on for a second. Somebody said, ask and ye shall receive. Let me see what this says here. California Wildfire line of proposed high-speed rail train. Okay. I would say that this is completely wrong. The idea is interesting, but I think, I'd have to go look at this a little bit closer. But no. And especially in the southern part, it's not even close. But there were no fires down in San Diego. I don't know. I'm gonna look at this a little bit closer. And this is from a website that, well, okay. All right. I'm going to look at it a little bit closer. I'll have an open mind, everybody. I will look into it. You never know. All right. I promise. Okay, before I've got 1 minute before the break. I've got a few birthday wishes I got to get out of the way. And one is to Frida Abba. Frida Lingstad today is 73 years old, and she's also known as the Princess Roos of Plauen. That's right. She is a princess. And I'm doing this for all of our good friends in the Great White North up in Canada. Today, Chad Kroger is 43 years old. And if you've forgotten who Chad Kroger is, and you may have, he used to have a band, or I think he still might, he had a band called Nickelback, right? Chad Kroger today is 43. I think his brother's in that band too, or was. On this day in history, OTD 1969, the first Wendy's opens in Columbus, Ohio. And your Fader fact for the day, see, we had our issues at the beginning of the show, but I'm not forgetting all of you out there. All right? Fader fact. There are more collect calls on Father's Day than any other day of the year. And that, my friends, is your Fader fact. All right, laser pointers use laser diodes that operate in the visual spectrum for obvious reasons. An invisible pointer ain't worth crap. That comes in from Mark Torana from... so we're talking about directed energy weapons, I guess. Okay, very interesting. And Tanette just texted or tweeted in, Jimmy, do your research. I will, Tanette. I promise. You guys are really, really funny. And I just saw something in here. Hold on, let me back. This is from Jake. Jake says, you're missing the boat on this one, Jimmy. This isn't natural. Well, okay. I lived through this one as well as everybody else here in California. This is pretty crazy. And natural, it felt pretty natural to me. I'm going to take a quick break. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. It is Thursday night. It's Fader night. If you're on hold, stay right there. Whew, what a day I have had. I'm so glad I'm here talking to all of you. I'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
Hi everybody, this is Rob Halford, the Metal Guard on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Poor water quality is a major health issue, and it's only getting worse. Municipalities can't keep up, standards have dropped, and pollutants are increasing. Where does it all end? It ends by keeping the pollutants outside of your home with HydroCare's advanced systems available at Wave Home Solutions. No less than the best purification materials and processes have been developed by HydroCare to provide you with healthy, clean water for drinking, cooking, and showering. HydroCare far surpasses the competition in removing chlorine, odors, iron, lead, chemicals, limescale, and much more. Don't settle for less when it comes to your water. We'll take care of the toughest water problems for you, whether it's from a city or well source. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 888-997-WAVE. That's 888-997-WAVE. Or go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRARadio.com.
Does your basement or crawl space have a damp, musty smell? Well, watch out. That's a sign of too much moisture and not enough ventilation. And that can mean increased mold growth and the buildup of harmful toxins and gases. Don't bother with a dehumidifier. It just circulates the same unhealthy air. Now there's a better way to remove these dangers and odors. It's with the computerized Wave Moisture Control Unit that reduces moisture and expels pollutants
pollutants.
We replaced our old dehumidifier with the Wave unit, and in only 3 weeks, our basement is dry and the musty smell is gone.
Wave units require no maintenance, no buckets of water or filters, and costs only pennies a day to run. Breathe better, live healthier with an affordable, no-maintenance Wave unit. Call 888-717-WAVE, 888-717-WAVE, or visit dryhealthyhome.com. Dryhealthyhome.com.
Ride the wave. Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from River Moon. Just click on the River Moon coffee banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code F2B blend.
So are you tired of being tired? Well, then it's time to get the tea. Hey, it's Lisa here to tell you about this all-natural, all-organic tea I've been drinking that has had great results for over 20 years. It's called Life Change Tea, and it's specially formulated to help detoxify and cleanse your kidneys, liver, colon, and blood all at once. The colon is one of the most ignored organs in the human body. The faster that waste is eliminated from the body, the less time that waste sits in our intestines, spreading toxins to our bloodstream. This tea helps cleanse chemicals caused by outside intruders from our entire digestive system. And get this, weight loss can be a side effect. And with continued use of the tea, you can experience clearer, healthier, younger looking skin, increased energy, and a happier outlook on life. So if you're tired of being tired, get the Life Change Tea at getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. And like me, you'll be glad you did.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fader night, open lines all night long. So I just posted directed energy weapons causing the California fires. If you've got any proof, let me know. Let me know. You can tweet it. You can call in 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. Let me know. I mean, if seriously, if you're sitting on some information that I need to know, one of the things that, DEWs, which I know, of course there's, I have a laser. Okay. I've got a high energy laser that will burn you in a second. You don't want that thing, man. You point that at, and I've done it. I did it to my brother-in-law a couple of weeks ago. He goes, "How hot is it?" I said, "Check this out." Holds out his hand, jump back. Dude, yes. So, okay, I get it. But you can see that. Thing is bright. All right, let's go to the phones. Area code 209. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, this is Bill Goodwin.
How you doing? How are you, Bill?
Hey, pretty good. Calling from Georgia. You had a guest on Tuesday night. I believe his name was Jason. Johnny
Enoch.
Johnny Enoch. I'm sorry. He was talking about the chemtrail and how they're used for
masking, hiding.
Yeah, basically cloaking and everything.
Yes.
And, so, out here in Georgia, it's pretty hot all the time. I think this was back in August sometime. And I go outside in my driveway, and I'm looking up at the sky, and it's a crystal clear blue day. And I see these jets flying from, so I'm looking in the eastern sky, and they're flying from south to north. And there was just a bunch of them. And they were all doing the same kind of flight pattern, just going from south to north, and they all start spraying at the same time, which I thought was kind of coincidental. So I run inside the house, and I tell my wife, and I'm like, hey, you got to come check this out. This is some crazy stuff going on outside. And so she comes out, she takes a look at it, and, it really didn't make much sense to her at the time. But anyways, I was trying to explain all this, and then, like out of nowhere, this jet that kind of looked like an oversized F-15. You remember like the old Tomcats, the
F-14.
They spread their wings out.
Yeah, F-14.
Or F-14, yeah. So this jet looked translucent.
What?
Okay?
Really?
I mean, it almost looked like I could see through it. And instead of going in a south to north pattern, this thing was going straight up in the sky. And it looked almost invisible. I mean, like a transparent.
Like Wonder Woman.
Exactly.
Right.
Wonder Woman's invisible jet, right?
Right.
So anyways, with these other planes going from south to north and all spraying, you would think that, they're contrails or vapor trails or whatever, but, I mean, the patterns were so parallel. It almost looked like a grid. And so I had gone back inside, and I'm looking at this real-time flight tracker. And according to the flight tracker, none of these planes are showing up. And you would, a logical person would think, ever since the events of 9/11, that all air traffic in the United States, at least, would be tracked through their flight ID,
Sure.
their tail number.
Sure.
And none of these are showing up. And I don't know. Sounds crazy, but they're not showing up on the radar. But I'm watching these things fly over my house, and all of a sudden, I look to the southern sky, and this transparent jet goes flying straight up. I mean, it wasn't south to north like the other planes. I mean, you can generally tell when something is flying straight up in the air as opposed to, parallel with the horizon. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just thought it was crazy.
Well, the transparent jet idea, I don't think is far-fetched at all, but let me explain why.
Okay.
I believe that the military right now is working on conductive, active materials like paint that can change like an LED screen. And what I'm saying by that is, just imagine this for a second. A thin, a coating on the outside of a normal plane, and then on the top half of the plane, you would have a camera. And then, so whatever is on the top of the plane is a video image that is projected onto the bottom of the plane. So now you would think that it is transparent because now you're seeing the blue sky that's on the other side of it electronically projected on the bottom half. and vice versa. You could have cameras on the bottom of the plane showing the terrain, the ground, and from above, if you're a plane looking down onto it, you would see the terrain now projected as a video image on the top half of the plane. What do you see? Nothing. You'd think that it was transparent. And you might see a shimmering outline of it because it wouldn't be accurate. Maybe you'd see the edges of the plane. And so you would think that it was transparent. Right? Now, that technology, that type of cloaking technology is being developed for clothing, right? An actual cloak, like right out of Lord of the Rings, right? Frodo, his cloak. And you wear this cloak, and it's operated with cameras, and it's picking up the room that you're in or whatever outside, and that's projected on the cloak. And you would see the natural surroundings that are there on this. So now, that could be what you saw, the testing of something like that. You know, and I don't think that's far-fetched. I'm telling you right now, that is not science fiction. This is something that they are working on right now. You know, and I'm sure that you have seen some of the new televisions that Samsung and LG and Sony are developing right now that you can just roll out and glue to your wall, right? Thin as paper. Thin as paper.
Oh, yeah. Same with phones that they're...
Right. Exactly. So why couldn't you put that on the outside of a plane and just glue it down, right? Adhesive. It makes sense to me. So yeah, but it's a good sighting that you had. That is what's amazing. That I think that's what you saw being tested. Now, the other
I've never seen it before. I've seen. You know, I mean, you see the skies are all. They've got all kinds of trails all over the sky and everything. But I just remember as a kid looking up in the sky, and I hardly ever saw that kind of stuff. You know, I mean, I grew up in the 70s and the 80s, and you would see the common contrail, and you knew it was a contrail because it disappeared. These chemtrails, they stay in the sky. You know, they wisp, they move with the airflow, and I don't know. I just thought it was very interesting, and the theory that your guest proposed, I had never heard of before, because I think the most accepted theory based on chemtrail is that, you know, either they're trying to block out the sun's UV rays, or you know, there's some type of military application, but I had never heard of the cloaking.
Yeah, and that
and then
aspect.
when I saw that jet, and I'm just staring at it. I'm looking up at the sky, and I'm thinking, am I really seeing this?
Right.
And is anybody going to believe me if I tell them?
No, of course not. But you saw it, and that's the most important part. What was your name again?
This is Bill from Georgia.
Thank you, Bill, for the phone call, and that's a great sighting. I think you saw some military testing going on, but it's awesome that you did see it. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. I had to call it. You know, when he mentioned that, it flipped the switch, and I couldn't wait until Thursday night, Fader night, and I finally got in, and I appreciate it, Jimmy. I love your show, and I'm a long-time listener. Thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you, Bill. Have a great rest of your weekend.
All right. Take care, brother.
Yeah, thank you. Somebody just tweeted out that it was Harry Potter with the cloak. I never saw Harry Potter. It was but I know Frodo had the cloak. I know that Gandalf gave him the cloak, man. I think it was Gandalf. And Frodo was able to hide. And he wore the cloak when the Ringwraiths came down on the tower when they were up there with the fire. And they were up there trying to get warm. It was him and Sam. And I'm trying to think. Man, that was in the... Was that the first Lord of the Rings book? But Frodo had the cloak then. Now, I can't speak for Harry Potter. I mean, I know nothing about Harry Potter. So that answers that right there. Okay. Man, major phone issues, man, tonight. I've got one phone bank that is coming and going on this side, and I apologize for that. And so let's just bring in whatever's happening on this side right now. I'll see if I can make it happen. Hi, Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Jimmy Church, long time no hear.
Oh, man. You got to keep it clean tonight, man.
Yeah, it wasn't me last time. Someone's been going around pretending they're me.
Oh, I don't think so. But anyway, how you doing, John?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's Thursday night. It's Fader night. What have you got for me?
I heard that caller earlier with the weird beeping.
Uh-huh.
And I'm pretty sure his phone was tapped.
It could have been. Could have been. Talking about Scott? Yeah, that sounded tappish.
Because back in the day, the FBI was tapping into my phone. Everybody thought I was crazy.
Yeah, you had this is the ghost of John Lennon, everybody. You had a pretty good FBI file.
Oh, did I? I never got to see it.
Yeah, man. Go to FBI.com. Go to the vault. And just that's all you got to do, man. Just type in John Lennon, and your file will pop up.
Oh my!
Yeah, you should go check it out.
Or?
It's been a while since I've checked it out, but it's there. It's there. Have you seen the picture that Eric Stitt created of you wearing a Fade to Black shirt?
I'm afraid not.
Yeah, you should go check that out. Go look up John Lennon of Fade to Black. I think he, it was supposed to have been creative artwork, but I think it's a Mandela effect. I think it's actually you wearing a Fade to Black shirt. Do you remember wearing it on the top of a building in New York City?
Well, I've worn lots of shirts.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool
I'm
shot.
I'm not 100% sure.
All right. John, enjoy the rest of your weekend, my friend.
You too, Jimmy.
Thank you so much. And let's go to here. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, my name is Josh.
Hi, Josh. How are you?
Fine, and you? I was just asking. Okay, this is my first time listening to this podcast, and there's so many conspiracy theories going around, and I just wanted to know, what is the most craziest conspiracy theory you've ever heard, ever, of all your years doing this?
Well, this isn't a podcast. This is live radio, but I appreciate that there are a lot of conspiracy podcasts out there for sure. But the craziest conspiracy theory that I've ever heard. Oof, man, I have no idea. Let me spin this back around on you, Josh. What's the craziest conspiracy theory you have heard?
Okay, so the most craziest conspiracy theory I've ever heard was basically the most generic stuff, like people shooting beams into the air to alter the weather, purposely causing, like, I've been recently hearing, like, these wildfires were purposely being caused. It's so many that I can't really specifically say which one tops it off, but
okay, then let's go this way. I'll go in another direction for you. When the craziest conspiracy theory that I laughed at, okay, how's that? You want to start with that?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay, there was a couple of years ago, I forget the name of the military exercise, but there was a military exercise going on in the Southwest and part of the United States. And that, are you ready? That abandoned Walmarts had tunnels in them that were connected under the ground. And the Marines were using the Walmarts as bases, and they were going to take over and do a military exercise and take us all and put us into FEMA camps.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. It was great. That was fun. Operation Jade Helm. You can look it up. Operation Jade Helm. It was. It was fun. Jadehelm. 2 words. Jade Helm. It was funny. man, that was just, it was one of those things. It was just like everybody needs to just stop. Right? Operation J Dome. They're rolling in, man. The Marines are here. They're taking over the United States. It was like, oh, come on. Inside of Walmart. And the Walmarts were connected by tunnels. Now that, that's that was a tough one. But wait a minute. Somebody just posted up another one that I needed to mention. As you said that, and it just got away from me. Okay, now what about you? Okay, what's a conspiracy theory that you laughed at?
Okay, so there's this conspiracy theory. I don't know if you ever heard about it, but I heard this when I was really young. It's called the Second Life Effect. Have you ever heard of that?
No, the Second Life Effect. Tell me about it.
Okay, so the Second Life Effect. It's basically, you have to bring technology into this. It's like a game that people get trapped in. It's like hypnosis. You stare at your screen. You download this illegal program,
right?
And it basically, it's like your soul, your mind gets trapped into it, and basically you can't come back out of reality. It's like staring at your phone and being your eyes glued to your phone. You can't look away. It's like sleep paralysis, and basically, I heard a lot of people die from this. They died in a computer chair. You know what I mean? And it's really weird because it's like the dark web. You ever heard of the dark web?
Yeah. I'm reading. I remember this now. Second Life is an online virtual world developed and owned by the San Francisco-based firm Linden Lab and launched on June 23rd, 2003. By 2013, Second Life had approximately 1 million regular users. Second Life is similar by massive. Okay, but anyway. The rumor here is that it would steal your soul. Now this is and I remember this. I'm going to go back. This is actually worth a second look. I do remember the stories going around about this. I never played Second Life. But I will go and check it out, and I'll get back to you on this, Josh. This is pretty good. Well, what about, let me ask you this. What about the moon landing, right? Apollo. Did we actually go to the moon, or was it just one big giant hoax? Now, that's a huge conspiracy theory. Do you think that we went to the moon?
Well, I've seen pictures of, I don't know if you see it, the most generic one, where you see a picture of a boot, and then you actually see the print on the moon. And it doesn't match up. I don't know if you ever saw that.
Yeah. Now, okay. So what you're looking at there. Now, okay, so just so you understand where I'm coming from on this, Josh, I think that there is a lot of evidence out there that causes us to question the reality of what the moon landings were or not. I'm not saying that we didn't go to the moon. I don't know if we went with the version that they have told us about, right? But the shoe print that you're talking about, right, that doesn't match the suit, okay. The suit, the pictures that you are looking at there, that is the boot that goes inside of the outer clamp-on boot, right? So there's two. So no, it does not match, but it's a second boot that straps on. It's a sole that goes on the bottom of the real boot. So right, there's something that you wear on the inside of the lunar lander or the space capsule, and then there is what you wear on the outside. So the pictures that you're looking at are of the boots that you're wearing on the inside. Right? On the inside of the lander. Yeah. You can't bring in all that dust. You can't bring in all that stuff, so there's a second set of boots that you wear on the outside that you get all dirty. And then there's the ones that you're wearing on the inside. And it's two different boots. But that doesn't mean that I don't, that I don't think that there's something to it.
I feel like there's so many unanswered questions in this universe, but I feel like if we do have the answers to everything, that we would even succeed a God one day. That's just my opinion.
It could be.
Too much of something.
I know, right? I know. Hey, Josh, first-time caller, and thank you for checking into this program, and I guarantee it, you're going to be here for the rest of everything to come. All right? Don't be a stranger.
Absolutely. I hope you have a beautiful night. Next time I'll call in, I'll call myself Mage from SL, so you could recognize me, all right? I won't use Josh.
There you go, Mage. Thank you, my brother.
All right, take care, brother. Treyway.
Yeah, have a great weekend. And one more phone call before we say goodnight. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black.
Hey there.
Hey there.
So I listened to the whole show, and I had a question for you. My name's Ulrich. So the question I had was, how do you help somebody that is losing their friendships because they want to open up to conspiracies in the public? You know, I don't think that's a conversation for work.
No, it's not.
As an example.
No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. But you know, this is how it happened to me in the workplace. You know what I did? I threw a softball. I threw a softball. You know.
Okay.
Which is like, hey, did you see the last season of the X-Files that was on? Right? And just start talking about that.
Yeah.
Right? And just throw and then you'll find, if you get a response, yeah, I did. Well, you know, then you can go into different zones. Like the new show, Stranger Things, right? Bring up something like that and see if they're watching it. Then you can talk about, you know, find out if they're into Montauk or mind control or MK Ultra, UFOs, right? And get into the other conspiracy theories, but do it through a TV show. And what's really funny is, see, you don't want to go full on conspiracy with somebody. You don't want to go in there and go, hey, you know, nuclear bombs blew up the World Trade Center. You don't want to go there because you're gonna freak some people out.
I mean, that shouldn't be the opening.
No, that does not need, especially with your boss. But if you bring up a TV show, right, and then because what I found when I started talking about X-Files around the office, some of these people that I would have never thought about, I couldn't shut them up. Right, that's it. And that's what you need to do. Throw the softball, a little underarm slow pitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's not me. I'm calling about a friend that I was worried about. He's listening to the show now, so hopefully this helps him out. But yeah.
I'm calling for a friend. Okay, there you go.
I swear to you.
I believe you.
I'm not the kind of guy. I want to help him out. I didn't know the right way to do it.
Use TV. But, TV's always the best thing. X-Files is great. It worked for me. Something new like Stranger Things, which everybody has seen, you know, and just start talking about Stranger Things. Because if you think about everything that is involved in Stranger Things, which is, you know, secret laboratories and mind control and dimensional beings and life after death and parallel worlds, you know, everything is going on in there, right? So you can get things going with that. What was your name again? What was your name?
Ulrich.
Ulrich?
ULRIK.
Like Ulrich Roth, the guitar player. Or that's Uli John.
I don't know. Yeah, I was going to say I don't know that person.
Okay. Well, enjoy the rest of your weekend, Ulrich, and thank you for calling in, my friend.
Thanks for letting me have the last call.
You got it. And enjoy, like I said, enjoy your weekend. All right. Have a great weekend. And with that, I got to get out of here. Tonight, as we pack up and shut this place down, it is all about, I'm doing it. I'm just going to let you know. In and out, triple. That's right. Order of fries, chocolate shake, and grilled onions. That's how I do it. And this has been another Fader Night on Fade to Black. I want to thank everybody that called in tonight. Twitter's on fire. Thank you so much. Great phone calls tonight. Fade to Black's executive producer is Rita Camarion. Show is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Bob. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vitoa, Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Space Boys, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network. Syndication is KGRA, The Planet. Thank you to Theresa, Yannaris, coming in strong tonight. The other Big D. Knows good stuff. This broadcast owned and copyrighted 2018 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. They cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Everybody have a great, safe weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Remember, Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is Thanksgiving. We're taking those days off. You spend them with your family as well. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Be safe. Go Beckley Tappy.